bisschen Intro. Good morning and welcome to Satsang with Mooji Baba. And thank you, Mario and Claus, for this beautiful music. We'll just do a few practical announcements and you can carry on playing for a bit. It's possible? Okay. I've been handed a few bits of paper on my way in here, so please bear with me. We want to tell you a little bit about the schedule. That today, again, there is an extra satsang happening. And this time it will be at the Ganga Resort, which is on this side of the river and not too far from here. So if you were to go straight to Ganga from here and make a left, it's a short walk down, maybe 10 minutes walk max. And the satsang will be at 3:30. And everyone is welcome to join. It is free and open to all. However, there's limited space at this venue indoors. The space is for about 500 or 600 people. And I'm going to guess that there's about 2,000 people here. But somehow these things always work out. And I would guess that the overflow space would be very lovely. They have a lawn on one side and the Ganga on the other side. So please, if you feel moved to come, just be there at 3:30 today. And tomorrow morning, there will be bhajans beginning at 8:30. And the gate will open at 8 o'clock. It will be the main gate that you enter through. And anybody from entrance can correct me if that's wrong. That's what we did last time, though. We just let everybody in the main gate at 8 o'clock. I'm getting a yes on that. Bhajans are devotional music, singing the praises of God in a very uplifting and cleansing kind of way. If you haven't been, you must come. And the satsang will follow as usual at 10 o'clock tomorrow. There's more. There's satsang also on Monday, but we'll just let you know that there'll be satsang on Monday. You can look at that on the website, on the notice board, or we'll tell you more about that tomorrow. It will be at another location, not here. Okay, now an unusual announcement we're making for one person who has... someone's taken her shoes, and she's very much wants to get her shoes back. Yes, so she's been persistent to ask, can we please make this announcement? It's Mephisto shoes. Somebody has the same shoes in a different size. So if your shoes are feeling a little too small, to please come to the info desk and get your shoes back. Now, there's a notice that there's an Australian Sangha dinner on Sunday. So if you're from the Australian Sangha, they feel this is the best way to get the word out to you. You're all getting together for dinner. If you're new and would like to learn more about the Australian Sangha, you're welcome to join. And to please go to the International Sangha desk in the entryway after satsang, and they can tell you where that will take place. Okay, back to today. So today, because there is another satsang in the afternoon, we will be closing the ashram shortly after satsang. And we just advise again about Mooji Baba's movements. He is so utterly spontaneous. And we just want to say, please don't rush out of the hall to go into a darshan line when darshan may not even happen. Mooji Baba is very clear about saying that he's here for us, and when he's in the room here, don't run out to see him at the next possible moment. Be here with him, and he may not always be offering darshan, and we just want to make you aware of that. I've been asked to remind you every day to please switch off your mobile phones and switch them off completely, because they interfere with the system that we're using here for the live translations. So if everyone can take a moment now and just please switch your phone off all the way. I have to read a recording agreement now. We want you to know that we're broadcasting live. And by admission to this premises and this satsang, You consent that Mooji Media Limited may use your image or voice for the recordings which will be taken before, during, and after satsang. The recordings shall be treated with utmost respect and shall be used only to share Sri Mooji's teachings. You agree not to use any information Sri Mooji gives as medical advice or as an alternative to medical advice. If you do not wish to be filmed or photographed, it is your responsibility to stay out of view of the cameras, and we suggest that you sit in the far back corner of the room. Please, no personal photography and no personal recordings of anything happening here in the ashram. We do have designated photographers, and each week they post their beautiful work on the website mooji.org. We'd like to say something now about donations, and we really want to thank everyone for your generous donations. They make these satsangs possible. I can't impress upon you enough how true that is, that without your contributions that these satsangs would not be happening. And it's a great gift you're giving to yourselves. You've made this effort to come all this way for satsang, but your actions will go far beyond what happens in this room, and to really give a big thank you to everybody who's helping to make that happen. You know where the donation boxes are, because I think you've seen them on your way in. They're all in the entryway. So again, a deep, deep thank you for your contributions. So finally, about meeting Mooji Baba. He is here for you in the deepest way possible. And he wants to meet you. So please do come forward only with your questions that pertain to freedom. The ones that will not just set you free, but set everybody free. These are the ones that come from the heart and not from the mind. Mooji Ji has this ability to take every question into the utmost truth. But we help him out when we really come forward with our deepest yearning, if I can say it like that. He's also asked me to let you know that he prefers to meet you in Namaste, and that it's not required to touch his feet. And he actually prefers to meet you with Namaste so that he can actually see you. And Mooji Baba will be with us in a moment. Thank you.
Om. Namaste, welcome everyone to Satsang today here in Rishikesh. And welcome, of course, to the many friends who are joining us from various parts of the world in order to share Satsang in real time with us here in India. So, big welcome for everybody, and yes, thank you. I'll start to understand, yeah.
Thank you. The last 10 days it felt like you cut me away. And since 3 days then I felt a huge anxiety came, and I tried to apply all your teachings to get rid of it, but it didn't calm down until I made the decision to come up to speak to you. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay. First of all, you say that over the first so many days you felt as though I'd cut you away. So if I've cut you away, so meaning that the thing that's been cut away is to be removed, like that, you would understand? That's to be removed? What would mean cutting away? What would it mean that I cut you away? It means what? That you being what? The bad part that's been taken out, or the good part that remains?
I want to remain as the good part. I want to remain as the good part, but my mind cannot figure it out.
The mind will always put you in the most hurtful place. You see, it will even try to twist my words and meaning so that it appears as though I have insulted you, when in fact the greatest kindness has come to you, the greatest assistance has come to you, like that. If you feel that you've been cut apart and cut away, and it feels as a hurtful thing, then obviously it means that I'm taking it all personally. You being some person, and like this. So I'm hearing it in the most simple way I can hear would be to cut away then what is not you.
Yes.
So now?
I need your help because I do not function anymore.
You say, I do not function anymore.
Yes. Doesn't
and
work.
it's okay if I do not function anymore. If that I doesn't function anymore, I think it is okay. That I do not function has been causing too much trouble. It's a nuisance. This I, for the moment, then you are left with a wonderful break. You have a break from this I person. If you say this I feeling does not work anymore, it means that something is aware that I is not working. The one that is aware that the I person is not working, is that not working? That one seemed to be healthy enough to observe that one kind of troublesome I is not working right now. Or is it the good part that's not working and the bad part is saying, look, the good part is not working?
Okay, from my experience, the only thing that was clear is that to come up to speak with you. Before that, there was thousands of projections.
Yeah. Yes. It doesn't matter, even if there are millions of projections, if you don't identify with them, they will not cause you any trouble. Even to the extent that if you don't identify with them, if you see the message that they bring, and you decide, no, none of it is any good, it doesn't matter how much of them come. What makes them forceful is when you somehow take them personally, you begin to identify with those voices, and then somehow it creates a very bad smell. you also describe it very, very picturesquely. You see, like all this stuff, it means clearly things you don't want. By themselves they cannot do that. It has to be that they are behaving like that because you're identified with them. Without your identity or interest or belief, they have no power. You would not even feel that they even appeared.
Please help me to see the subconscious tendency in me that is doing that.
Yes, yes. Something, some behavior, something, some seed. Here we call somehow some samskaras, means some deep impressions are embedded in the consciousness somehow. And they are not original though. They are not original to you. They came later. And these impressions, they're there. And when they flare up and become actively expressing like they do, then they say these are your vasanas. They say they are these ugly expressions or so, painful, distorted, oppressive. Feelings of rejection and fear, instability.
Yes.
These things will come. They don't belong to you. They don't belong to you. But they're playing out more strongly when you, the consciousness, are more identified as a person. Then they have more room to play and they have more charge in them.
Help me to see where this identification is in me so that it can burn away.
They show themselves when they manifest in the way that they do. Otherwise, you may go through quite long periods of time without feeling that they're there at all. You see, unless something in life impacts upon your consciousness, unless something exposes them or stretches your mind enough, you probably will not notice them. But in an environment like this, where truth is venerated and what is untrue is exposed and discarded, then they cannot hide. It's like hiding behind a sheet of glass. You can't hide. And so they flare up. When they flare up, then you get a sense that, whoa, where are these things coming from? Because sometimes you will not even feel that you have any record of where they could have entered. The mind may even interpret that the satsang is giving them to you, but it's merely exposing them. And the nature of things is that if you can imagine, say, an earthquake takes place in the ocean, in the bottom of the ocean, a lot of bubbles are released and they come up to the surface. When they reach the surface, they pop and disappear. The bubbles don't go down, you see, like this. They are coming up. And this is kind of like big bubbles. Come to the surface, they're coming up. They explode on the surface, you see. And that's what you cannot take these bubbles out, that's the ocean, you see. They may be part of the ocean's expression, but they cannot define or hold the ocean trapped. They cannot do it. They may appear to do that, but they don't really do it.
Show me how to see all that, because you said it's only when there's still some identification that those things come.
Yeah.
So is it enough to just see them and let them go?
You must not see them only from the position of identification. Then somehow you can't. It's like you're trapped in them. You see, there's another space for you, a much greater space, for you, and that is beyond identification, beyond your person. You have to start looking from outside of your person. The person now is cramped with the negative energies around it. So this is where these expressions are more being displayed in your person and through your person, and your belief in your personhood. Although actually a person is not really what you are. You are a consciousness. We are all actually consciousness and the expressions of consciousness. But the consciousness itself has painted a portrait of itself as a person and is living in that mode of a person and is in the model of the person that these forces are playing. So I am speaking to you now not as person to person, but as consciousness to consciousness, about consciousness. And it is going to be a very different way, because if you listen on the basis of a person, you're asking me, well, how can I stop this and how can I get out of it? But I'm pointing you to the place where you are witnessing. That's more the spirit and the expression of consciousness. You're only observing, but not identifying. That alone changes the environment from that of a personal environment to that of the space of consciousness. That you begin to observe without identifying. You observe these energies playing, you feel them at first coming. They're looking for expression, but in the power of just observing them, they don't come out in their full force. Or they are burped out when one big burp, and then somehow there's quiet behind them. Or a succession of smaller burps, but behind them there's a still place from where you're looking. This is where you need to be. And that place is not a place requiring distance. It's not distance. It's just more subtle. It's right there in you as well, the position of consciousness.
I can feel it.
Yes.
I can feel it like as some subtle thing which is, it's not even the satsang hall, it's some warm space.
Yes.
It feels very disconnected from this whole mind activity.
Yes. It's the place from which you can watch the activities arising in your body-mind and the activities external to the body-mind. You see, to your personality, your personhood, your body, you can watch the activities around also. You see? But it itself is not an activity. It is simply, unless you want to call the witnessing an activity, it is passively noticing all that is arising. You see? But it itself is a state of contentment and peacefulness. Can you see it or not?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes. It's like I had this seeing some days ago when you asked, can the perceiver be perceived? Where it's a little bit like the satsang hall is fading away.
Yes.
And those things with my mind, they came after this seeing.
Yes. It's a little rebellion, you see? Something comes back. Because what happens is that your self-portrait is becoming, it's not enough now. And something is drifting back into focus, into the focus of beingness. And because of that, you see, there's like a backlash, like something, some force inside us, a darker force, that seems to have been influencing your mind, influencing your consciousness in the form of the person, you see, that is going to be losing power. And so it, in the picture, it appears as though it wants to sabotage everything rather than to see you free.
Yes.
Yes. But it doesn't have any real power. Its power depends upon your belief and your identity with it. We say here that it runs on phantom power, which means that it has no power of its own, but it has to be empowered by you. Like sometimes you might buy a little light for your computer. It has no power by itself, but you must plug it into the computer and it uses the computer's power to put light. In the same way, the mind, this sort of personalized mind, it needs to link in and to take the power from you, the self, in order to be activated and to be active. Once you know this, you see, you're beginning to discover your position And from the true place, you are untouched. From the person place, you are scattered and fragmented in your energy, and you are searching for help, confusion come, a sense of separation, and this.
Yes.
It must be time to be coming out of that state.
Yes.
When you begin to suffer a state, it's the universe's clue to you're moving into a higher state. Don't be afraid.
Yes, and I think one chord is already cut. I was going back to the mind because I was not trusting life, but then I saw during satsang, I am life.
Yeah.
So if I trust myself, it's the same as trusting life.
Yes. Trusting yourself does not mean trusting your person and your personal mind. We have already had enough experience of that to know that it is a bit of a tricky one. The personal mind is not reliable. So trusting yourself, you must come first to the truest realization of yourself, and that alone is trustworthy because it is constant, reliable, if you want to say like that. But the personal mind is not reliable. It fluctuates.
Absolutely. It's more that my seeing is how much influence it had and how much also on whatever spirituality, and now I just see it's not of any use, and I'm in my mind I'm lost, so I'm like I can say nothing.
Now you're speaking not so much from the person, there's some person in it, but you're moving as though, if you're not the person, you're moving into the space more of conscious presence. And conscious presence, for a while it's got presence or consciousness mixed with personhood. You see? First there's person, but person always has consciousness in him. Now you're moving towards conscious presence. As you're moving in that changing over place from person with consciousness to consciousness with person to pure consciousness. You follow this picture? Is okay? Something is a bit mixed at the crossing point. That now you are speaking from the person within the consciousness. And then, so the voice is becoming more softer, more relaxed. You see, the more you move into the fuller consciousness, then that little influence will just diminish. It will thin away like incense smoke in the wind. It will go.
Yes, and I think I need to just trust this. Is that for me? I mean, initially I wanted to ask you about trust, but then this other thing was just so strong. That is it the same to discover the self and to trust?
This trust is coming now from where we are speaking. The trust will be from the moving into the conscious presence, moving into conscious presence more, with little fragrance of the old person. But now, as you move in, the person aspect of the consciousness is saying, "Can I trust?" I say, "Yes, this person is now connected with consciousness." So your trust is simply mean that you're merging more fully into consciousness beyond the person's influence. I'm sorry I have to use this, but you understand what I speak. When these words that I'm speaking are transformed into intuitive experience, you will see how simple it is.
Yes, so that's because I am life, it's impossible that life will treat me bad, or, it will automatically fulfill.
Don't go backwards now.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have to
No.
go back to speak like this. Be the experience. Don't talk so much about it. Be the experience, Don't go back, because then it's the mind start to say, yes, now I can see how to, No, just be the experience, dissolving into your own source. It is happening like that. But mind plays another card, and it starts to now speak like, you're your own therapist. Yes, I can see. No, don't go there. Just continue dissolving. In satsang, the personal mind, like I say, is like a piece of ice put in a glass of warm water. And a melting is taking place. The ice, also constitutionally, is water. And water is water. But because of the heat, somehow it loses its shape and it's returning back to its natural fluidity. And that is its natural form is formless. If you put water in the shape of this vase, it will take the shape of the vase. If you put it in the shape of a cup, it will take the shape of the cup. If you put it in your hand, it will take the shape temporarily of your hand. But you cannot say that that is the shape of water. When you pour it out, it has no shape. Your consciousness has got to come back to shapeless. With too much education, too much tradition, too much insistence, too much identity, it takes on a shape and it becomes a bit rigid. And then you're not flowing, you're not spontaneous in your expression anymore. And life is spontaneity also. So all this is a thawing out. We say sometimes that initially the mind in satsang has to go through frosting. You see? Moving back into the flow of spiritual.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Oh, so may I... yeah.
My Lord, my adorable Lord of love and mercy, salutations and prostrations unto Thee. Actually, I would not have come, my Lord, but on 26th, when you put your hand on myself, and as I was standing there for darshan, and you garlanded me, on that very day, I went to my room and saw the recording. And in that recording, you said that don't go for darshan. I only put my hand on top. That is no darshan. That is not the way. You should be here. I am fine. I am in consciousness. Whether it is dog or monkey consciousness, I don't know. It is consciousness. The monkey part, dog part is not there. But I am confused a bit whether you can do anything more to me. On that day, I said I have come as a coconut, as an incense stick, as a ghee, because there is no difference between all these things. These are all Leela of God. Today also, Lord, I have come to you as grass under your feet. Please do whatever is possible so that I have no confusion. I have better understanding and better spiritual strength within me.
Yes. As you've been sitting here and you're listening, how are you affected by the things I'm speaking?
Yeah, I'm in consciousness, I'm trying to be in consciousness, and it is fleeting past. These are, sometimes I'm not giving much mind to what you say, unless it is of relevance.
Well, and if I say everything that I speak is of relevance? what is it that discern this is not relevant to me? Is it consciousness that say none of this is relevant to me? Is it the person that say none of this is relevant to me? I'll wait for what is relevant. On what do you determine that something is relevant? It could also be that you think it's relevant because that's what you're interested in. I give an example of this because very often, especially more in the past, I would often use stories to get the point across because people are always more open to listening to stories. You know? And but some people, they say, but I've heard this story before. So because in the mind they say, I've heard this story before, so in a way they don't listen. They are more remembering the version, yeah, I remember it like this. But every time I tell the story, it is new for me. And it is fresh. And it changes also, okay? So if you listen with the old mind, you're listening only to what you think you heard. It is the same. The mind sometimes, from the mind comes, I know what he's going to say. I understand this already. And actually it is not helpful because what can happen is that you allow the mind somehow to determine what you want, what you should listen to and what you should not listen to. I would rather say just to come and be very open.
No.
And to listen on the basis of consciousness, not as person. So don't decide anything beforehand, just be open, and you'll find that somehow the way in which we communicate or commune becomes much, much more alive in that way. Because many people, they are in this kind of selective listening. And it is just habit. You think, I know this kind of stuff, I don't need to know about that. That is really not a good way to be in life. We also think we know who we want to learn from and who cannot teach us anything. Be careful of this type of mindset also. You see, be willing to learn from anyone and from anything also. Just be open. And this is the way of consciousness. You're free from pride or from the pride of knowledge. And you're very open. And you listen openly. You're not easily influenced necessarily because you're like that. It's just you're open. When something resonates inside, it has a kind of luminosity inside your being. What is happening now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I agree with you.
There is a space inside that is not a part of the hearing, but what is heard is perceived in it, right there. All the activities that and the sensations that are brought through the senses, they report right there. All the regions of time and the functions of the intellect and memory, all of that reports there. But that itself is not doing anything. It is not dead. It is the source of all perception, of all of life. These are my words. I'm speaking on behalf of you at the moment to say that. But you can start where you can sense that even as we speak, what is it that understands? What is it that hears even? We don't know. But the hearing happens, understanding takes place. And the awareness that understanding has taken place is also present. This is the marvelousness of consciousness. And if your perception is not distorted by personal judgments or personal identity, you will catch my pointings very quickly. But sometimes the mind comes in and it begins to interpret personally. And because of the relationship that has grown through habit, we tend to go towards what the mind's response, the mind's reactions, and we accept them as our own. Thankfully, grace is with you. It is grace that puts inside your heart the yearning for truth. And it's grace that brings whatever you need to you. But there is an opposing force that is working inside. And it seems to work to the contrary, to distort your perception and to bring in forces of distraction and to make you feel lazy and to make you feel resistant, to make you feel sort of like tired and perhaps to feel you're in the wrong place. These forces are also operating inside. And perhaps the game of consciousness, you can say, is to transcend the influence of the psychological mind and to be free from the hypnosis of conditioning and false belief. And all of this comes right. So I simply point you to some key pointers that watch from here. And if you grasp one of these pointers, it's like it's worth 100 points. What it means? That by understanding energetically and intuitively, recognizing where I'm pointing, easy, then it catches and burns a lot of what is not true. So in a short time, you're already established in the true place.
Lord, I have struggled a lot. I came here last year, 13th of March. On one day, I was actually sitting here, and you, instead of going that side, you came by this aisle, and you pressed my hand. I fell at your feet. From that day, my life changed. And I did not know what has happened actually. And I did not know that you had a YouTube and website. For 6 months, I was knocking at various doors throughout India. And then praying to lot of gurus, all the gurus you have here, more than that. And then in month of July, suddenly I saw YouTube. And the first YouTube I saw, it was as if you pulled me inside you. And from that day, I was very much at home. I knew I was on track. And then decided that I will come and attend each and every day over here from 16th.
Yes.
And I was in a hurry. One day I was hurrying up to this line over here. And one auto passed over my foot. I could not attend only one day because I had to go to the doctor. Doctor said nothing has happened. Go home. But then I was very much really relaxed when you put your hand on my forehead. I thought that you are my Jesus Christ. You are my Ramakrishna. You are my all gurus, whoever is there in this country, including Aurobindo, Lahiri Mahashaya, Hariharananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I went to all these ashrams. I attended their lectures, but nowhere I could get the truth the way you have shown me. You are more than Bible. You are more than Gita. I'm telling this from my heart. But still I don't think this life I will realize, maybe in next life. But
No.
even if I don't realize...
No. This life, this day. This life, this day. Why not? I can't accept what you speak there.
But it is your mercy, my Lord. I'm not having sleep. My roommate is telling you are not sleeping. I said I'm sleeping sitting.
Yes. You don't need sleep. You don't even need sleep. Because if that has touched you, in fact, grace can cause you not to sleep also. If He doesn't want you to sleep, you will not sleep. You will say, no, you will stay up and you will meditate on me. Grace will do this, you see, if it wants to. And you'll find that you can stay up and you're not any the worse for it, in fact. So this is not... Today I want to say to you, if you are willing now, in this moment, to look freshly for what you say, because to hear you say, yes, maybe not this life, another life, I can't, no, now you must do it. Knowing what is here for you, and to say you have to wait for another life for it, and maybe one after that one, it becomes... some people are happy with this type of thing. Some people are happy to be told, you have 3 or 4 more lives to live, and that's your good fortune. You have 2 or 3 more lives to live like this. But here we have not come to tell you that. You only have to grasp something here. There are some people who, they are in touch with me, and they are studying Vedanta. They are students of Vedanta, you see, and they don't agree with my pointing. They say, it takes a lot of time. It must take a lot of time to develop this and then that. You are making it seem so easy. I say, is that a complaint? Because it would be like catching a bird and tying a string around its legs, its feet, and then holding the bird's wings and exercising the bird's wings, okay? Waiting for the wind to come to say, I'm showing you how to get ready to fly. No, he's built for flight. He doesn't need your help. When the wind comes even, the wind doesn't have to call him. It comes and he's gone. Why to hold the bird and... This is how you do it, birdie, come. Poor bird. When the wind comes, he's gone. I have not come to tie you down to any unnecessary practice. Not saying that other paths are not getting there. They are all good. All the rivers are going to the ocean. But the ocean is here also. The ocean is also you. And it's now here. Why to speak of something, in 10 years you'll reach there when it is here already. So some people, they like more this journey of going more and more, and but they are afraid of the destination, but they love the journey. But others are tired of journeying, so would have tried lots of tricks of journey of things. I just want to be there. I says, then maybe you come. Let's see what happens here. The great river of the self is flowing right here. We can take a look together. We can step in together, if you want to put it in those terms. When you step in, you realize that you are this river. And you also appear to be the one stepping into it. What prevents you?
No, that day you told that I just put my hand. You should come here. You should be in the room. Because I was standing there. So that a confusion was there.
Yes, it's okay. It is sometimes I put like this because I say I don't want people leaving the room early just to get in line there. You see, while you're in the room, my hand is on your head.
But I want all the things to be absorbed in my consciousness also, which has not yet come.
Can you trust the one who is assessing whether it comes or not? Can you trust the one who is apparently assessing whether all the things you're waiting for has not yet come? Can you trust this one, this voice?
No, I can't.
No. Then that is already one good thing. Leave him out. It is not trustworthy, that voice. Okay, so leave this voice out, no? Okay? And don't be waiting for anything for one moment. Leave the voice that's been acting as the arbiter or acting as the evaluator. Leave this voice out. And don't be waiting for another voice. Just be here and tell me what remains now. Don't imagine anything. Just leave that voice who has been behaving as though it is your friend, it is evaluating well for you. Throw him out. And what remains now?
Nothing.
Nothing. Don't give this to your mind now. Just be in this nothing. Can you be something in nothing? Who are you in this nothing? What is missing of value now? Don't need to imagine anything at all. Now, what is to be done now?
Thank you.
Content or discontent?
I'm at peace.
You're at peace.
Satchitananda.
Satchidananda. Can this peace, Satchidananda, can it go now? Can you step out of it?
At the moment, no.
Does that mean that perhaps at another moment it could change? Will be different?
I did not understand actually.
Yes. This Satchidananda, is it something that can fade?
No,
No.
no. That is very clear.
Very good.
Cannot clear.
Yes.
Cannot clear.
Yes.
But it has to merge with the universal consciousness.
Okay. How much gap is there between this?
No gap.
Okay. So where is the need to merge?
Because I have some body consciousness.
No, the body consciousness will remain. Body consciousness is not, body consciousness is also consciousness. The one who is awake, they don't become blind. Everything will appear and disappear, will come and go. Don't feel that body consciousness means that you are not pure consciousness. Everything is appearing, isn't it? All the great masters, no? When they realized the self, did they become blind?
No.
How could Krishna see Radha? How they could see anything? How they could speak? To whom would they speak? Without body consciousness. So don't worry about body consciousness. Is inside the great consciousness. Now just be. Don't calculate. Because mind want to have a few opinions now. But leave him. You don't need him. Just be in this and see. Be and see. When the beings come to this stage of self-absorption, no? I'm inclined to say to them, you go and zip yourself inside your sleeping bag and marinate in your introspection. Just be there. But don't think. It's different from thinking. Just marinate in your own self-discovering. If you understand what I mean. So it's getting hotter in Rishikesh, so sleeping bags may be not the best thing. But you know what I mean. Just marinate in your thing. Just this. I feel very happy for you.
Can I fall at your feet? Can I read the Guru Sutram?
As you wish.
I will speak to you in English, and later on I will speak in Sanskrit. Salutations to the Guru. I prostrate to that Sadguru, the Brahman, who is bliss, who is giver of supreme happiness, who is absolute knowledge, who is beyond the pairs of opposites, who is vast like the ether, who is attainable through assertions like Tatmasi, who is one, eternal, pure and changeless, who is the witness of all the states of mind, who transcends modifications, who is devoid of the three modes of Prakriti. I prostrate to that Sri Guru, who is himself Brahma, Vishnu, God, Maheswara, and who is verily the Supreme Absolute itself. I prostrate to that Sri Guru, who has opened with the collyrium stick of divine knowledge the eyes of him who was rendered blind by the darkness of ignorance. I prostrate to that Sri Guru, who pervades the movable and the immovable universe as an unbroken infinitude of form, and who has shown the state of the infinite Brahman. The form of the Guru is the basis of meditation. The feet of the Guru are the basis of worship. The words of the Guru are the basis of mantra. The grace of the Guru is the basis of liberation. Prostrations to the Guru, who is Shiva, bliss and auspiciousness, who is the embodiment of existence, knowledge, bliss, who is beyond world consciousness, who is peaceful, without any support and self-effulgent. I prostrate to that Guru, who is the eternally pure Brahman, free from reflection, formless, taintless, eternally awake as pure consciousness and bliss. In Sanskrit, Brahmanandam Paramasukhadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dandvatitam Gagana Sadrishyam Tattvamāsādi Lakshman Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Ajnana Timira Sandhya Jnana Anjana Salakaya Chakshur Militanya Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Akhanda Mandalakaram Vyaptamena Characharam Taptapadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Dhyanamoolam Gurur Murti Pujamulam Gurur Padam Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam Mokshamoolam Gurur Kripa. Namo Shivanandaya Guruve Sachinanda Murtaye Nisprapanche Shantaye Niralambaye Tejashe Nityam Suddham Nirabhasham Nirakaram Niranjanam Nityabodham Chidanandan Gurum Brahma Namamyam.
Namaste, Mooji. I'm so happy to be here. I want to thank you for all these wonderful satsangs. They put me in a great silence, more and more. And I feel that the person also is fading. And I would like to know where am I now? Who is the inquirer? Who is the person who wants to know who is?
No, you leave, all this is fading also. Why trouble your mind? All this is fading also. To find out who is left now, who is the inquirer, all this is going. You've been relieved of it now. What blessedness. You don't have to worry about that. This is the mind's trick to try and pick up all rubbish again. You put the rubbish out. Why go out there to try and see if there's anything valuable in it? No, leave everything now. This is discernment. You see? You see, you say the person is fading. Not just everything is fading. All that is fading. You are left like a child again. pure, but unlike the child, you're totally present and totally conscious. Consciousness is not a student. Doesn't hold. It has no degrees. It does not hold on to any. It doesn't have a pile of information that it carries around. It alone can be empty and at the same time full. So don't worry about where is the inquirer or where is it. Don't worry. You will spontaneously know. You will spontaneously know. And those are questions for the person. When consciousness is behaving as this person, the person asks these questions. But you are moving now from person to presence. It's a beautiful transformation. Just relax, let it happen. You are like this piece of ice in the warm water, dissolving away.
My mind keeps telling me that it's so arrogant to think that you can have it.
Yeah, who is it speaking to? Who is speaking to it? You determine. Who is the mind speaking to? You see? It's speaking still to your person to try and catch your person's attention. You're so arrogant to think you can get it. Yeah, if there's a person, then the mind is right. Who are you? You're so arrogant to think you can get it. If you are the person, then the mind is right. Who is he speaking to? As long as you hold on to the sense of personhood with that strength of loyalty to it, then you'll find that you'll keep, like a reflex, you'll keep coming back to the place of the person. And then delusions will come again. Again, some more nonsense will come. You see? Because some amount of mistrust is functioning there. You question, you see? You're being carried. You're being carried now by grace. You yourself say the person is disappearing. Huh? Yeah. What senses and experiences the disappearing person also? What does that have to do? Are you the one disappearing? Can you watch your own disappearance?
No.
No. What is happening is that each time, maybe with a question, where am I or what exactly I am, and some intelligence begin to scan to find an answer. What exactly am I? Less and less is found tangibly in that way. Now don't think that, some people, it brings a sort of panic to the personal mind, but joy to the heart. Less person, less interference, less nonsense, less insecurity, less arrogance, less suffering in the world. When the person sense is replaced by consciousness, which is actually your true nature. And therefore, when the sense of the person is disappearing, you feel more like yourself. This is the paradox. The more there is the absence of you personally, the more there is the full presence of you, consciously. And that is the divine attraction, because the minute you realize that is not that your reality as yourself is disappearing, it's not like that. It's that which is not yourself which is disappearing. Then somehow you want to throw everything in now. This is what happened. One kiss from inside. And you want to throw everything in, please, everything. Take everything.
I felt these glimpses of love these past days, and it's so wonderful.
Yeah.
And the mind also is not happy.
So then you choose. Love has given you a glimpse. And then the mind goes, So who are you going to go with? Mine is not happy. Who are you going to go with then?
Happiness.
Huh?
Happiness and love.
Happiness and love, my God. These contrasts and these contradictions will happen for a while. As your powers of discernment grow more strong, as your wisdom increases, you start to realize, oh my gosh, it's all this is already with you. It's not that, say, you go to some place and you say, I'd like to have more love, please, and we send, some DHL package from heaven or something. Oh, it's your love has arrived, sir. It's from you, it's coming. Where's the fading happening? The fading away of untruth is happening also in you. The arising light of wisdom and love and peace is arising in you, from you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. It's funny because sometimes a bad relationship, when it finishes, we have grief also. Even bad one. Huh? The person is beating you every day as you wake up, good morning, and every day, and then it's finishing, I'm leaving you, I'm leaving you. They're leaving you, which means the end of suffering. Don't go, no. You see, here you go. So even in a bad relationship, divorce has come and there's grief. So much grief. The psychological mind and yourself is a bad marriage, a bad relationship. If it's only you're going there, at a certain time the mind's beating you. Because he's telling you, don't come now to me. Every time you come, I'm going to whack you. And you still come, good morning, darling. For some people, and that also is grace, isn't it? Because until you get it, then maybe you unless you are, what sadist or masochist, the one who likes to get it? Sadist likes to get it. No, the sadist like to give it. We have some experts. The masochist like to tell, no. Unless you are one of those, it's a bit different. So the reason why I would say this is because even when somehow some tendencies are going, if you think about them, there's some clinginess is there. But don't give so much now attention, because something much more beautiful is replacing that. You see? I want to put my hand up as well. Can I ask a question myself? Who is somebody there? Come? Yeah. I don't know who I mean. I just mean participant.
Namaste, Mooji.
Namaste.
Just want to say thank you for showing me how to be. Probably for the first time that I can remember in a long time, through your pointings and teachings and these satsangs, just feeling that thing that, that has no name, but yet can watch my thoughts, can watch my feelings,
yes.
Watch what's happening in my body, and just quiet my mind as well.
Yes.
After satsang the other day, I went up to Laxmanjula and then went up the Ganga, and I realized I had a really strong idea of who I was at that time. But this time, kind of like grace or awareness shone on that, and it just kind of went away. It just disappeared, and I just felt peace and joy, and it's just been amazing to discover this.
Oh, beautiful. 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 That is called beautiful. You see? When you don't have to be holding on to some self-image and thinking you know where you're going exactly and how things should be. You are just walking constantly in your own surprises also. Fresh and free, spontaneous, unafraid. And it gets better and better. This is a fruit that keeps getting sweeter and sweeter, but never becomes oversweet. The fruit of your own self. This is wonderful. There's a saying that we love to taste the honey, we don't want to be the honey. We want to taste the honey, we don't want to be the honey. We love tasting. But now you are tasting the honey and you are also the honey. Very good.
Thank you, Mooji.
Thanks to you. Thank you. Very good. Okay. She will have to jump. Okay.
I just got my answer a few questioners back. My question was Hafiz has a little poem which says, "It felt love." It says, "How did the rose open and give its beauty to the world? It felt the encouragement of light against its being. Otherwise, we are all too afraid. Otherwise, we are all too frightened." So the ice cube feels the warmth of the water. So it is so spontaneous and easy to open up over here. Otherwise, we remain too frightened. My question had been that, like, in our regular lives, the energy is too harsh. You don't feel safe enough to open as you feel here. And then you just told somebody that don't go backwards, remain in this experience.
Yes, neither go forward even. Stay as you are, you see. Forward and backward is something that just happens anyway, but you will always just be here, you see. And you may think, oh, it's nice when I'm in Rishikesh in the Sangha, but what's going to happen when I go back?
Yeah.
Nothing. You're just going to be like you are now. And people shout, "Oh!" It's the same. Yeah? You can walk outside in the street. It's not different from when you go home. What happens is that you are feeling it's not just a life out on the street, maybe your home life, how people regard you, those who have a sense of who you are in their story. And are you allowed to change? From the view that you may find that some people, they have you in a particular place in the life.
Exactly.
And you have to be, when they press the button, you must perform how it should be. And then you're coming to press button, there's no performance. And they say, "Oh, you've gone a bit miserable, what's wrong with you? Are you unwell? You seem so quiet." You see, like this. Sometimes a little bit like that. I'm making a bit of joke about it, but actually, and perhaps you're afraid of that. But don't be, because just accept what comes, just see what comes. Don't predict what is coming, just go and see. Because that light that is shining in you, it is not afraid. It is the light of this world also. It is the mind that is feeling somehow caged in its own self, that rebels and makes all this noise for a little bit, and put up with that. That's okay. It will soon change. Don't worry for that.
And the question is not regarding that. It's a tiny little thing. Maybe other people have felt it. How come you're so confident when you raise your hand, and the moment you say you, or when we come to this area, there's this panic. It always happens with me. My voice is shaky right now. I don't know if others feel it or is it just me.
Feel what?
You come
Shaky,
to this area
yeah.
and there's
Yeah.
a panic attack. I love you. I completely love you.
Thank you. Someone there? Come. I thought I must have done that again. So. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being
Thank you.
in my life. I decided to come up because my heart is alive and it's wonderful. And it started from a very powerful energy from outside, but now it starts working from inside, like want to unify, the inside out. I don't know. I want to stay with my heart. I trust it.
Yes.
I really have an intention to have a direct experience of myself. I came for it. I long for it. Because I tasted it years ago. But somehow with life it evaporates. Now I don't even want to think about it because I know it. I have to start from the beginning. I don't want to rely on that. I want it now, here.
Who is speaking at the moment? Who is speaking? Is it the heart that is radiating?
I flipped into my mind. It's okay. Now I go back to my heart. I have a tendency to explain myself, so I want this away.
And therefore the heart says, okay, she's busy, I'll just... So watch this backflipping into the mind again, and you just stay as heart, keep quiet, like this, and just allow it to, whatever is happening, somehow it's a movement of grace, it's spontaneous, let it just happen, just be very present, simply be aware, and simply be. Just be with this, you see? So that nothing is interfering with its flowering, its unfolding. Just be in that. Enjoy, it's so beautiful. Otherwise, we are like, it's like you're going down the Amazon, reading a book about great rivers. You are in the great river. Good like that?
It's great.
Great.
It's like I want to be with it and believe in it and just be with it,
Yes. But you need to stop saying that because it creates a separation. You see? It keeps an I who wants to be in it. But you simply keep quiet, be present, and be absorbed by it. So this sense of separation. If there's separation, there's going to be a beginning and an end to it. But if you're one with it, it's over, you see. It's a subtle thing, isn't it? You feel this tremendous love. You say, oh, I just want to keep it, I want to keep it. How can I keep it? It's just, how are you keeping it right now? It's with you now. You're not keeping it, it's here. You see? It is you, actually. But the mind says, yes, but how can I keep it? And you're so busy thinking, how can I keep it? And I could lose it. And then you're gone off, and then you have a feeling, well, where did it go? While you're just trying to find out how to keep it, you lost it. Or it feels like that. You are it, it's there. Just like that.
It's so wonderful.
So wonderful. Are you looking at wonderfulness, or are you being wonderfulness? Are you looking and, look, it's so wonderful, so wonderful. Or are you the wonderfulness?
I'm the wonderfulness.
You are the wonderfulness.
I feel grace.
Yes. When you are the wonderfulness, what can you lose?
I just want more of it.
The wonderfulness is saying, I just want more of me. Huh? Very good. Very good.
Maybe I take too much time.
Huh?
I'm claiming my place to be. I'm love, I guess. And it's constant. It's on and on. I want to
Even in the heart of all of this, there's a great silence. There's a great silence, a deep peace. Be there in this peace. Let the joy come. Joy can come and it can radiate, it can dance. But it is also experienced from a very silent place at the same time. Because the exuberance of the expression of joy may also come to an end. But you will know that that is fine. This cannot come to an end. yourself. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Namaste.
Namaste. No?
I actually have no idea what I'm going to say, but during the whole time, my mind was just projecting what I'm going to say to you. But it's just nonsense somehow.
Yes, I don't want that.
I spoke to you 2 weeks ago at the dining area, and I told you, like, after meeting you, everything got worse. And you mentioned that at the Osho ashram, you said, like, somebody came here and got this turmoil somehow. And I can somehow see, like, it's everything what the whole suffering, what came up after that, was basically just misunderstanding. Just even right now, just
From a psychological perspective, everyone is misled by their mind. It is useful for practical functioning, practical things, yes. But concerning identity and who you are, the psychological mind is not reliable. In fact, it is constantly whispering lies, mostly. And it is good in some sense because it compels you to find a place within yourself where there is truth. And the clue is that you can observe your mind. Your mind cannot observe you. You can be without this psychological mind, but it cannot exist independent of you. So you judge which is the greater, no? And stay in the place of the greater.
what I want to say is, like, yesterday I had this moment where I could just see, like, how my mind was fooling me the whole time. Really, just don't go to this place. It's like you're surrendering to something else. Like, just makes no sense for me right now, because I can see, like, this is not something what I believe. This is not something what I do or what I can grasp. It's just really what I am before I believe or anything like that. So that's why, like, my mind cannot really fool me anymore with this thoughts, with this, and it's such a relief, like, to drop this.
The voice of the mind gradually becomes weaker and weaker as you discover more authentically yourself. It just, at some point, it will not feature anymore. You will not really hear it in that way. It will be useful for its practical functioning, but this kind of whispering and telling you what to do, and this will be redundant. It will not happen after a while. And that is so great, because for most part it's a bit of a mighty nuisance, basically. Some people seem like they're difficult to accept when I say that the natural state of the mind and being is totally silence. when a thing needs to happen or an action to be taken, or it arises quite spontaneously, or the urge rises within you. Everything becomes spontaneous and actually much more appropriate in its application than when you've been thinking about it and planning it. It is like someone who has rehearsed a speech to make a speech in 1 week, and they've got it really completely memorized, and even their actions, or how they will express something, are memorized. But on the day when they deliver that speech, it will be out of synchronicity with those who will be there to listen. The natural mind is not like that. It simply moves and responds to the needs of the moment. It does not need to rehearse life. It is life. And you grow more and more into your natural being, your natural state. And these perverted idea and identities, they naturally dissipate, they naturally go. But who listens, I don't know. Who follow? Has your mind created a state of suspiciousness in you? Has it left a field of just doubtfulness or apathy or cynicism? Best to come out of that state as quickly as possible.
And Mooji, I have experienced a lot of dysfunctional states of mind, like which words can really not describe it. And when I look back, or when I introspectively look, I realized that somehow the mind was making a problem out of myself, or making a problem out of my person basically, like, and fighting it. And not only myself, even fighting the other person, like really trying to...
Without the person and without these kind of scenarios, the aspiration to go beyond them will not manifest. When you begin to taste, actually, the burdensomeness of the psychological mind or the ego, then arises the aspiration to come out of them. And then you see that it is possible. You see? We waste a lot of time speaking about those states that in some way it kind of reinforce the sense of their reality. Your natural state is to be happy and peaceful, wise. In your natural state, you will know with the authority of experience that yourself is timeless, imperishable. It will not be a belief. It will be an authentic knowing, unlike anything the mind can conjure up or imagine. Your natural and your pure self is not a state of belief. It is of isness. It is just so. It's not on the way to somewhere else.
Mooji, I love you. and I have to say this because I thought like I'm following you, or I thought you were my master, but actually I was identifying the whole time with the part of my mind which was actually hiding somehow, or not seeing you really as my master, more than, I don't know, I was just following you somehow, but not really following. And this changed somehow the last days, I don't know, it's just, I didn't really love you before, I think. I see it. It feels like that, like too much judgment somehow, and
Judgments postpones love. Selfishness hides love. Love is the natural climate of intelligent existence. Love is your vibration. It is your perfume. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Is possible one translation in Spanish? My English
Español,
is a little
español,
bit...
español.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hay un descubrir, que si digo que yo he descubierto algo como persona es mentira. El descubrir simplemente ocurre. Yo simplemente soy la existencia, y cuando digo que soy todos, aparentemente...
Momento.
Okay, I'll try to,
No problem.
if I remember everything. There is a discovering, but if I say that I discover as a person, it's not true.
If I say I discover some,
If I say the discovery is as a person discovering something, it's not true.
Achha.
It is just discovering.
Yeah, sorry. En mi corazón ahora hay una alta vibración. Sin embargo, no hay temor. Hay una apariencia de temor. Sé que estoy más allá de eso.
In my heart now there is a big vibration, but still there is no fear.
yeah,
I can see that I'm beyond this fear.
yeah.
Solo son vibraciones en el cuerpo y yo no soy eso. Simplemente es la forma en que me represento aquí.
There are only body sensations, but this does not represent to me.
La vida, antes, casi todos los seres humanos pensamos de que la vida está separada de nosotros y quiere arruinarnos. Y cómo uno puede aparentemente tener vida en el cuerpo y ser consciente de sí mismo y no ser la vida misma.
ourselves as human beings, we have believed that life wants to ruin us in a way. But and he said something like,
¿Cómo es la locura más grande en esta ilusión que vivimos? De por sí es una ilusión y a su vez dentro de esa ilusión es loca.
it's a very crazy illusion to believe this.
Yes.
Entonces, la creencia principal es que la vida nos está haciendo daño a nosotros y que nosotros la podemos manipular.
So the principal belief is like life is hurting us and that we can manipulate life.
Y si me doy cuenta, como absolutamente, de que hay vida en este cuerpo, hay vida en esta mente, y puedo ir más allá, y he ido más allá, quiere decir que yo soy la vida. Y lo siento como tal, y soy tal.
And if I can realize there is life in this body and there is life in this being,
You should also be talking in the microphone when you speak with him.
I'm just
When you-
asking him again
Yeah,
to...
even
to
so, even
okay,
so.
I'm sorry.
You see.
So, ¿podrías preguntar de nuevo? ¿Le podrías decir de nuevo lo que acabas de decir?
Pues sí,
Gracias.
al ser consciente de que hay vida en todas las cosas, en cada una de las cosas dentro de esta ilusión, y de que aunque pensamos que una roca esté muerta, tiene vibración y por lo tanto tiene vida,
Being aware there is life everywhere, in this body, in a rock, everything is life.
y sabiendo que aunque se perciba eso, sabemos que es una ilusión, entonces ya la vida que yo creía tener ya no está separada, pues yo soy la vida misma.
So knowing that that is also an illusion,
No, what is an illusion? Knowing what is an illusion?
¿qué es una ilusión?
The illusion is que somos un cuerpo y de que la roca no tiene vida.
That we are a body and that there is no life in a rock.
Y el darse cuenta de que solamente esto es una expresión de la conciencia y que yo soy la conciencia misma y por lo tanto soy la vida misma.
And realizing this is only consciousness and I'm consciousness itself, so I'm life itself.
Yes.
Hace mucho tiempo que vengo escribiendo y vengo como este cuerpo escribiendo muchísimas cosas y quizás haya 10, 12 libros para publicar.
There's been a time since I have been writing, I might have liked to publish 12 books.
No lo he sentido en el corazón para publicarlo porque siento que es simplemente una fabricación más de esto que yo no soy.
I haven't felt in my heart to publish them because I feel they're just one more thing of what I'm not.
De todas formas, suelo decir 2 o 3 frases, por ejemplo.
I will just say 2 or 3 phrases anyway.
El universo no se preocupa de aquel que se autoexcluye de él.
Universe is not worried about that one that excludes himself from it.
Yes.
La felicidad es el estado inmutable de quien se mantiene consciente en cada instante.
Happiness is the constant state from whom to whom is always conscious of itself at every moment.
Entonces, simplemente como uno es la conciencia misma, ya la persona que aparentemente era, ya ni siquiera tiene que trabajar porque ya no existe.
So, as we are consciousness itself, or I am consciousness itself, so the person that I thought I was does not even has to work anymore because it doesn't exist.
En la infinitud de la calma, en la inmensidad del silencio, reina el esplendor.
In the infinite of calm, again, de nuevo, por favor.
En la infinitud de la calma, en la inmensidad del silencio, reina el esplendor.
In the infinity of calm, in the splendor of silence.
Reina el esplendor, king of splendor.
The splendor is the master,
Yes.
or rules, or
No, it's a king.
is a king.
King though, no exactly the translation. It's king though. No problem. King land is reina. Yeah, king is. No problem. Okay.
Okay, we are having a. Okay.
A consciousness fiction.
Completo. Siendo la vida lo que realmente es. Amor, siendo el amor, haciendo el amor, por siempre el amor.
Te puedo pedir que lo pongas en pedazos, una mitad y la otra mitad, porque me tengo que
la primera
acordar.
mitad, esta es la segunda mitad.
La mitad de la mitad. I'm asking him
te lo
to
digo-
put just in halves.
Siendo la vida lo que realmente es.
Being life what it really is.
Love,
Love.
haciendo el amor.
Love making love.
Siendo el amor,
Being love.
forever love.
Amor para siempre.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Es una verdadera gracia y aparece como si fuera un sueño hecho realidad. Sin embargo, no es un sueño ni es realidad. Es la realidad misma manifestándose. Parece un sueño
It looks like a dream,
y a su vez es realidad.
and at the same time it's real.
Sin embargo, no es ni sueño ni realidad,
Nevertheless, it's not a dream, it's not reality.
sino es la realidad misma manifestándose
It is just reality manifesting
y mirándose en el espejo de lo que realmente es.
and looking at itself in the mirror of what it really is.
Si no hubiera ocurrido esta diversidad, sería imposible que lo que existe, que es lo único que hay,
If this diversity wouldn't have manifested itself, it would have been impossible
pudiera haberse autorreconocido a sí mismo.
for itself to recognize itself.
Y este es el juego que aparentemente estamos jugando,
And this is the game that we are apparently playing.
y es muy hermoso, muy feliz, y más allá de las palabras, el poder observar.
And it's very beautiful and very happy and beyond words to observe
De este juego, que aunque parezca bueno y malo, simplemente es la forma en que la vida se manifiesta.
this game that even if when it's look good or bad, is simply the way life manifests.
Now, have you realized this by yourself, or this is also some things that you've read and like that?
¿Te diste cuenta de esto por ti mismo o es algo que has leído?
Pues podría haber un engaño de la mente, ¿sí? Sin embargo no se lo creo.
There could be mind. It could be tricking me, but I simply don't believe the mind.
La mente me...
No, that wasn't my question, though. I mean,
Okay.
Él dice que esa no era su pregunta.
my question was that
Yes.
much of what he spoke is also very much like a lot of texts from Advaita expressions and so on about the non-duality of life and so on.
Él dice que mucho de lo que hablaste suena a textos de Advaita. Sí.
Yes.
He also said before that he writes a lot.
Yes, I heard this.
Okay.
But his writing is influenced by these works?
¿Tus escrituras están influenciadas por estas palabras del Advaita?
Pues no, porque si fuera influenciado, dicho vulgarmente, me comí todos los libros habidos por haber.
So no, because if I would be influenced, I had to have read all the books in the world to have this, to have it said.
Not necessarily.
This.
No, not necessarily.
No necesariamente, he says.
No era necesario que lo hiciera, sin embargo fue necesario para darme cuenta de que no lo era.
¿Qué cosa no era
seguir
necesaria?
comiendo libros, estudiando.
Okay, he said it was not necessary to read so many books, but he had to do it to realize that it was not necessary.
Okay.
El conocimiento es parte simplemente de la mente y en un momento que la persona se convierte en un erudito y profundamente infeliz y profundamente sufriente y eso hace que uno despierte a que hay algo más allá.
Knowledge can really make people into a person with a lot of knowledge, but also brings a lot of sadness, and then this is a clue to go beyond.
Only if there's arrogance there. Only if there's arrogance there.
Solo si hay arrogancia puede llegar a producir tristeza.
And he said that he read all these books to realize that he didn't need to read the books.
Y tú dijiste que leíste todos estos libros para no tener que leer todos estos libros.
But you read the books.
Pero los leíste.
Sí.
Sí.
It's okay,
Yes.
it's good.
Pero no fui yo que lo leí.
But it was not me who read them.
Aparentemente.
Apparently.
Apparently, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Thank you. Okay.
Una última cosa.
Last thing.
Hay muchos seres humanos sufrientes
There are a lot of human beings suffering,
y muchas veces uno se piensa que el que sufre más de todos.
and sometimes we feel we are the one that suffer the most.
O cuando alguien como siendo igual una persona aparentemente es distinta,
When we see that someone is apparently different,
la discriminan o simplemente la llaman loca.
they discriminate this person or they just call this person crazy.
Pues entonces uno se da cuenta que en realidad en este mundo no hay nadie acuerdo.
And then once realize that in this world no one is sane.
Porque si alguien estuviera de acuerdo no estaría haciendo siempre lo mismo,
Because if someone would be sane, they won't be doing always the same thing,
esperando resultados diferentes.
waiting for different results.
Y a su vez, uno se puede quedar mucho más tranquilo cuando es consciente de que no es el hacedor y que las cosas simplemente suceden.
And one could be much more tranquil when one's realized that one is not the doer, that things they're just happening,
Porque tienen que suceder.
and because they just have to happen.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Sir.
Thank
Okay. I take one more. Julia. Okay. Come closer to the microphone for me.
Yesterday, I saw the real meaning of why you should not leave before the master leaves.
Yeah.
I was opposite in Paramatnikatan for the satsang, and it began to become rather late, and I always afraid to walk in the dark. So I left at 5:30, so I would be at home when darkness begins. But when I was walking down the river, I saw that my fear was bigger than my wish to respect you and not to leave before you left. And this morning I saw it's all about self-respect. When you listen to your fear or to your mind, then you leave the master or your self-respect. And it's not that you leave this room before you do. It's more you leave your own truth in your own heart, and it became so clear to me.
Yes.
But my life was always, I was always listening to this fear. I've been afraid for everything in my life, always fear, and always listen to this mind. But through this, I saw that I should have self-respect and listen to what's inside of my heart. And
thank you.
yes, that's wonderful. Thank you.
That is, there's great space in what you say now. In that realization, great space to hear you use self-respect in this context. And that you recognize this. And in acting now from this place of recognition, you'll see it changes everything. Change.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very good. Okay.
Mooji, you were right.
Thank you.
If one runs away, is blessed. But something fades away. I was at your home and I was blind by arrogance and anger. And I couldn't embrace the love that it was being given to me. Now, I told myself that I was okay all the time, and it was okay. It has been great. But my question is, can I get rid of arrogance and cynicism?
Yes, everyone can. You can transcend it. It's not that you can get it and throw it away, but you can transcend it. The transcendence is really the name of the game of life, I feel. It's not that you must fight with these forces, but you transcend them. And there's infinite space to transcend. Transcend means you must go to a higher place within your own self. Go to higher ground within yourself. Rather than get into street fights with your mind, go to higher ground. When you go to higher ground, I mean that you go to a pure form of consciousness. And from that state, the mind cannot, he's punching at your shoes. Go to higher state, and you're out of reach of it. If you stay in the personal mode of consciousness, which we can, and we all must initially taste that, or every human being that came into this play of manifestation through consciousness, we are compelled. Whether you were a Buddha or a Christ or a Krishna, in the early part you are compelled, actually, to taste conditioning and to experience life through personhood for a while. It's a gross form of consciousness, that stage, but somehow the consciousness has manifested this state that it must use its own powers of discernment, aspiration, love, introspection, meditation, inquiry, to transcend these, to inquire into the nature of these forces and into itself, and to transcend the grip of them, of the psychological mind. It has to.
Right now there is something, it's not really saying something, it's as if there is a sensation and then there is a thought putting content into that sensation. And
this is what I've been saying from before, that something arises inside, manifests inside as a feeling or sensation or whatever like that, and by itself it is okay. Where the trouble comes is that as soon as these energies manifest, some tendency to some interpreting energy come and begins to interpret what the significance of this prior feeling is, and it is that interpretation experienced through the personal consciousness that gives off the bad smell. It is not the original feeling. The feeling by itself can be met in different ways, depending upon the strength of your maturity, the depth of your maturity, and so on.
How can this be then transcend completely so it doesn't happen again?
Well, how it is transcended is that you must move from the mode of person into the state of presence. The presence is really, the heart of the person is presence, and the heart of presence is absolute awareness. You must move. All beings are compelled to evolve. It's not only by choice. In fact, your choice is also a bit of an illusion. But while we have the sense of choice, we must use it. And the highest sense of choice is not to get pulled into the mind streams of these thought streams, but to observe them, but then pay attention to that which observes them. Because normally the energy is going outward through the senses to contact the sense objects. And wherever the attention goes and contacts, that is being registered as our experience. So while we are in the state of personhood, we can't get out of that. We are in a very volatile state, very much interacting and very cynical, resistant, arrogant, insecure. All these are the, I would say, the attributes or the qualities and tendencies of the lower state of consciousness, which I call personhood. And largely on this planet, consciousness in the form of human beings are functioning more in the mode of personhood. Spirituality means that somehow the consciousness begins to tire of the personal role and now aspires to go to retract back into its original place. That is called the evolution of consciousness. And so what happens is that it's a shift happens from the sense of person towards the, you may say, the intuitive consciousness, or the sense of presence, or the feeling of being, which is above personhood. From the beingness, the beingness has no personal quality. The beingness, the sense in you that announces itself, I am. That's the consciousness that announces, I am. I am the existence here. Am means to be. I am here. That's what it is. But this I amness is not personal. It's not male or female. It has no favorite religions. It is not a belief system. You see? It is pure consciousness. But as soon as it manifests, it also needs some kind of instrument, even to announce its presence, as to say, I am. So the body, it announces, I am. And that is consciousness. But it also compels this consciousness to extend more by identifying with the body. And as soon as it believes, I am the body, okay, it doesn't have to say that, it just believes I'm the body, then other forms of conditioning can pour in on top of that fundamental belief. And there is born the sense of the person. And then consciousness, you may say, has fallen. This is the fall from grace. But it's all part of the design of this universal manifestation, that consciousness must experience the fall, which is to fall again into the state, I am the body, I am the form. Once it believes I am the body, it came into time. When it came into time, it came into the realm of change, where there is birth and life and death. And consciousness, which is deathless, begin to suffer from the notion of life and death. And that begins the birth of suffering, selfishness, anxiety, projection, all these things come. But nobody is singularly guilty for this. From there, what you must do is consciousness in its individual expression, in form, must inquire into its nature, or other factors which are affecting the consciousness. It must use these to evolve. No one is exempt from this, and you will evolve according to your kind of destiny. The destiny is operative up to a point, but there's no destiny for the self. Destiny is for the body-mind and the beingness. It's in that realm that destiny applies. And while we are in that role of movement and growth, we have the sense that I am the doer of my actions and the thinker of my thoughts. And once you assume that identity, you reap the joys and the benefits of karma or destiny for a while, until finally you evolve into the state of pure consciousness. Then you have transcended everything. It is a play like that.
There is what says like, okay, then like asking you like, then what to do, or you see how.
And
how
these
to do
questions can be answered. You know, these questions can be answered depending upon your question indicates where you have located yourself. You see, what to do normally comes from the place of the person. What to do. In consciousness, you listen and you follow the pointings, and they bring you to a very spacious place. In that place, there's no trouble, so there's no question what to do. You see? When you're in the state of presence, you don't have the feeling what to do. You're in a state of joy and peace in your natural state.
So there's nothing that this I can do. There's nothing I can do. Because
the universal consciousness in its form of the life force is the animating power in the universe. It is what is causing activities to happen. The consciousness in the form of the person, imagine it is the individual doer of those actions. This is not an easy one to understand though, because you say, but of course I am responsible for my action. If I want to move this flower from here to here, I can do that. It's my choice. What else is acting upon me to determine if I want to do this and throw it and so on? Only I am doing it. So then it feels, then how can you say that something causes me to do that? Only later you come to realize that all of this also is the activity of consciousness.
The person comes up and then asks, well, how can I then come out of the person? But it's the person asking that.
And the consciousness responds and say, relax, don't fight. Even this desire, how can I come out? Even this desire is also observed in you. You see? At first, the person consciousness doesn't really feel comfortable with that. It wants a kind of answer that fits the kind of question he thinks he's asking, which is, what do I do? And the consciousness knows in that scenario, there's nothing you as a person can do. But you are more than a person, you are consciousness. And I'm going to speak to you as consciousness. Therefore I say, just observe, which is a consciousness answer. Just observe that the one who is saying, there's nothing I can do, try to find that one. And you will come to see, there is no one actually that's saying that. It is a thought that arises in consciousness when consciousness believes it is a person. And this believed person believes it is asking, how can I change this? It is like some characters in a book is asking, you know, I want to tell you something, but I don't want the author to know. Okay? Let's go and talk. Okay? But I don't want the author to know. Okay? just between you and me. Okay? So even this talk is the author's thoughts. But in the story, the characters believe, but they are also not real. But within themselves, in their own belief, which consciousness can do, they believe themselves to be real. It is a bit like that. Is it frustrating what I'm speaking?
No.
No. So therefore, as you come out of this limited field of consciousness into the knowing field, and wait a second, all that is just imagined. I'm all the time here. I am inside this body, but I'm in this body believing I'm the person in the body rather than I'm the consciousness in the body. And by believing that, I believed it into existence. And so I became a person. Can I speak like that? And only as you are moving from one state into another state can you look back and evaluate the state you were in before. While you're in the state, it feels like it's everything. When you're coming out, you realize, oh, but that was a bit tiny state. You see, only as you're leaving one state to another state, you can look back and say, wow, I was thinking that I was a person for a very long time, and I realized that a person is just my imagination. Even then I was consciousness, but I was somehow in the dream of myself as a person. You see? What an amazing discovery. Because upon realizing this, the whole unfolding of your life takes on a different reading. A much more beautiful reading, much more fluid. No anxiety, no fear, no depression. Those belong to the person. You have outgrown that mode. You have transcended it. You have overcome it. This is what Jesus spoke actually. When he said to his friends, his disciples, trust in God, which is the pure consciousness. Trust also in me, he says, because I have overcome the world. What is he speaking about? I have overcome the world. He is a person that probably hadn't left Palestine or wherever he is in that region, I was saying. He didn't come to Jamaica. I don't think he went there. I don't think he went to America or South America or Finland. I don't think he went there. How could he overcome the world? He meant, I overcome this. This is the world you have to overcome. It is always speaking to you, telling you this and this and that. You must transcend that voice. And you transcend it by returning to your original nature of consciousness. And this is provable. Our time in satsang is not giving you lectures and things for you to make notes, but for you to follow directly and realize the state you originally are. And then you see if these things trouble you anymore. They will not trouble you. They exist only in the domain of the person. In the state of pure consciousness, they don't exist. You say, how can you get out of that? Actually, when you're out of it, there's no mind fighting you. When you're in it, in the belief, in that as you manifest as person, consciousness manifests as psychological mind. And the relationship will begin between the mind, which will behave as though it is your friend and your enemy. And it's there to help you grow. But the more person you believe yourself to be, the mind you'll be in states of delusions. When you come out of it, you may even say, thank you to mind. Thank you. Thank you for beating me up, for telling me all those lies, so that I had to wake up because your lies were hurting. But my belief was due to my ignorance and my arrogance also. That a human being, born as we are, conditioned as we are, in a world where it seems like there's unending fascination, unending places and things to be fascinated by, to transcend this this field of intense sensory perception and desires, and also imagination, and all the urges and the memories and the exaggerations and the poor interpretations and the miscomprehensions and all of this, and to awaken to their true state as pure joy and light and wisdom and love. This is the miracle in this world. You have to become the proof that God is. Not the speculator. Blessed is the one whose life is the evidence of truth.
You are.
For this reason, I have come to you. I cannot give you this. I can only help to remove that which somehow seems to obscure the intuitive recognition of the timeless self in you. For that reason, I'm come. By the grace of God, I'm come. To demonstrate to you that you are love itself incarnate. Yes. It is grace, Paramatman in the form of grace, who is stirring your heart and calling you home. Not calling you home because this is time to leave this planet. No, but to also shine the light of God's grace and love and peace here, because that is what we need. To remind the human beings of their greatness. But not their greatness that comes through ill-perceived arrogance, but the greatness is life itself, imperishable existence, pure consciousness, unfading grace. To awaken to this, not to simply believe. You're not here just to get involved in belief systems, but to know, to recognize, and be. That is, in my view, the highest opportunity in the human kingdom. And it is provable. You are the proof. You will be the proof. It is not your mind that called you here. It is your higher wish. It is the pull of grace. It is your yearning for true life that brought you here. But there is a power within us, a capacity to invite the darkness and to work in the ways that create pain and suffering, what this world needs not more of. I said for thousands of years, hundreds of years, beings have been coming to places like this, Rishikesh, with the same quest to find the imperishable self. Hundreds and thousands of beings together, just like we are today, on hilltops and caves and by the Ganga, to discuss these things. Many of them, they found what they wanted. Their bodies are no more here. Our bodies are here. We are the new wave of the human experience. But the same question we are asking, Who am I? Where I'm from? What is my purpose here? It looks like the end. If I believe myself merely to be this body and personality, I am going to come to an end some point. But if I realize myself as timeless consciousness, timeless awareness, then I know I'm the imperishable self. Yes. I have not missed my chance like this. It is for you, for each of us come. Huh? Okay. Thank you everybody today. Someone is coming today to play something?
I wrote, because it was more than nobody, because I have been trying for many years and I couldn't write any music anymore. At least I could say it was honest, though after meeting you I saw it was a celebration of ego and the emotions of it. And I was not able to do music anymore for many, many years. Then, the first time I looked into your beautiful eyes, that night, after many years, I wrote my first song again. Or the song came. It showed me clearly I cannot write any song. I cannot force it. So this is a mixture, some short versions of some music which came, and the first one actually you wrote. It is out of the Mala of God, which became my daily prayer. Let your hand be my hand, let your love be my love, let your body be my body, let your mind be my mind, oh let my heart be your heart. Let my voice be your voice, singing out of your spirit. Let my life be you, let my life be you. Let my hand be your hand, let my love be your love, let my body be your body, and let my mind be your mind, oh let my heart be your heart. my voice be your voice, singing out of your spirit. Now this life is true. Let my life be you. Now these are your hands. There's only one love. Now this body is your body, and nobody's with no mind. You are the one. Only heart. Now this voice is your voice, singing out of your spirit. Now this life is true. Life is truth. Only have you. Now this voice is your voice, singing out of your spirit. And now this life is true. Life is true. Only have you. I know I am life. Now beyond the time, I am the here beyond the place, before the concept of a mind, beyond the form in every grace. I am the laughing Buddha smile, I am the tear that Mooji cried. I am in holy arm of grace, I am the love in her embrace. Oh, I am. Oh, I am life, and God is in everything I am when I am gone. Oh, I am life. There's nothing to do, to live, to prove when I am done. Oh, I am life. Wäre ich reicher und wäre ich klüger, ein wenig klüger, und wäre ich schöner, oh noch schöner, wäre die Welt dann besser, wäre sie besser, if I would be richer. Oh, if I would be richer and if I would be smarter, just a little bit smarter. If I would be just a little bit more beautiful, would the world be better? Would the world be better? Oh, only love, save love. Only love, save love. Only love, save love, unchanging love. Only love, save love. Only love, save love. Only you, save love. Unchanging love. Singing from a holy place. To a holy man I'm singing, down on my knees, with my head at your feet, I'm singing. Mooji, singing at the holiest stage. What a holy, 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 holy grace. Jai love, Jai Mooji, Jai love, Jai Mooji, Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Jai Mooji, Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Singing Om Shanti Om. Jai Mooji, Jai love, Jai Guruji, Jai love, Jai Mooji, so beautiful. Now I'm singing, so beautiful, so beautiful. You killed me into life. You killed me into so beautiful. You killed me into so beautiful. You killed me into so beautiful. You killed me into love. Now I'm singing Jai Mooji. I'm singing from a holy place to a holy man. I'm singing Jai love, Jai Guruji. Down on my knees, with my head at your feet, I'm singing Jai Mooji. I'm singing at the holiest stage. What a holy, 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 holy grace. Jai love, Jai Mooji, Jai love, Jai Mooji.
going to have enough, I think. Thank you so much. There we go. Oh, we're going to keep going. Oh, okay.